is decent. In a family of parents that are training you in the right way. Not all children have that opportunity. For those of us standing before you, we thank God for the parents that raised us. Pastor Leo talked about his father. I can talk from now till tomorrow about my father. The way he raised me up. Right from the time I began to understand life. Hammering in me what it is to grow, to be honest. And if you grow up with that root of discipline, honesty, you will have a great life. Because what you are doing, you are honoring your father. You are honoring your mother by listening to them, by following the path that they are laying for you. And that will let you grow up to be honored by society, by school, by church, by community. The Bible tells us the voice of man is the voice of God. In Latin, Tony can attest to it, vox populi, vox Dei, right? The voice of man is the voice of God. What I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going to wear my professor hat, and I'm going to tell you about the honors that I have received in my life. And I want you to begin to think, how can I grow up to receive this kind of honor? And the root is in your hand. By honoring your parents, both father and mother. How do you honor them? By obeying them. But before I go, why are we celebrating Father's Day? What do we know about Father's Day? You might be surprised if I tell you that Father's Day was started by a woman. Let us it's in your phone. Those of you who have phone. Father's Day is an annual holiday dedicated to honoring fathers, fatherhood, and the profound paternal bonds that influence society. If you scroll forward, it will give you the history of Father's Day. Founder. The modern holiday, listen carefully, the modern holiday was founded in Spokane, Washington by Sonora Smart Dodd in 1910. Father's Day was founded in 1910. Inspired by Mother's Day, this woman campaigned to honor her widowed Civil War veteran father, who raised 6 children on his own. He raised 6 children on his own. And Father's Day is set aside for honoring one's father, as well as fatherhood and paternal bonds. This woman started campaigning among women in churches and saying that my father was the one that raised me. Let us start honoring him too. and not just mothers. And as a result, it became an acceptable holiday set aside to honor fathers also, and not just women. So you see how Father's Day came into being. So what I intend to do is to bring you passages. See, I just wrote a book which many fathers don't do. And it is called The Chronology of a Life. You may not know the meaning of that word yet, but you will know in future. That is the step-by-step stages of a father's life. Why did I write this book in the first place? It took me 40 years to write this book. Let me get this chair. No, that's all right. Let's do this one. Yeah, it's more comfortable for me sitting down because this might take about 30 minutes. What I really want to do is to let you see how you can achieve honors and what type of honors you should be aiming at as you grow up in life. I just told you about a singer who said, don't bury your talent. So all of you children, you have talents, God-given talents. And you should be realizing it from now. Because it's in you. You are born with talents. So as you grow up, listening to your parents, behaving the way they are teaching you to behave, these talents will be coming out. And you'll be realizing that this is the way to live. I notice some of my boys, Daniel is not here. Even when we are singing and praying, Daniel will be doing this. I mean, I didn't tell him to stop because that is a talent that is developing. The father is praying, singing, or doing something. What is he doing? He's playing basketball. There's nothing wrong. That's a talent that God is inspiring in him. In fact, when he was younger, I used to call him Jumping Diamond. He would stand here, I would say, Daniel, come. He would just jump to come out, attend to me. So I gave him a nickname, Jumping Diamond. Because I realized that there are many athletic ability in him. And who knows how far he's going to go. You know? So all of you should remember that you have talents, God-given talents. As you grow up in your parents' house, obey them, honor them, so that you can be honored, as Pastor Mike told us this morning. You have to honor your parents so that you can be honored in future. I honor my parents by listening to them right from my youth. The fear of God is what? Is the beginning of wisdom. And I add to it, the fear of God, the fear of parents, the fear of society is the beginning of wisdom. We live in a society that have laws and regulations. Keep them. You will have friends, as you are growing up now, who will want to persuade you. Let us do something. No, This is wrong. We know it's wrong. Hey, but people are doing it. Let's do it. Some quick way of doing things. Never, never. Always say, my father should not hear about it. My mother should not hear about it. My God will not allow me to do that. That will be your first fear that you must implant in you. I grew up to be taught about honesty. At the age of 17, I joined an association that fights against corruption by placing hand on the Bible. I may not be a priest, I may not be a pastor, but that placing hand on the Bible stuck to my brain up to today. That will not make me do anything that is wrong. I said, oh my God, I took an oath on the Bible that I can't do that. When I was in primary school, some people came around from the organization that arranged the examination. They said they saw the question, they want to sell us the question. I refused. I said, no. Some of my mates, I joined them. The same thing in higher school, the same thing in the university. You have friends who wants to go out and let us do certain things that are wrong. We get rich quickly. But don't be part of that. Remember the fear that your parents instill on you. Remember the fear that God has instilled in you. And let that be what guides you every day of your life. As I've said, I wrote this book particularly for you children. And in my opening phase of the book, I said, I wrote this book primarily for my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and future generations who may have the opportunity to read it. That's how I opened this book. You see whom I wrote it for? For you children. Later on, as you grow, you will find that you will see books like this in the library. You may want to look for this particular book also. You will find it. Read it. And it will give you a lot of lessons in life. Now, this memoir is dedicated to all of you, all you children. And I said, in December 2024, my youngest daughter, who was 41 years old, sent me a book titled, Dad, I want to hear your story. A father's guided journal to share his life and love. So that is what this book is all about. Sharing my love, my life, and my love. Now, the voice of God, the voice of man is the voice of God. When people testify about you, God is watching. God is listening. God is hearing them. In William Shakespeare, Macbeth, I think, if you read it in school today, but maybe in future you will read. There are so many passages in it that could be quoted to support what we are saying. One is that the evil that one does live after them forever. But later on, we have added to that, not just the evil, the good things that you do will live after you also. People will praise you. It's always good if people can praise us when we are alive. You know, many times it's when we pass that we begin to hear people talking about good things we've done. I wish people could say it while they're alive. So what I've done is what people are saying about me, I put it in this book because they are saying it while I'm alive. And I use that teach children. This is what people are saying about me. So, what do you want them to say about you before you leave this world? But what should you do so that they can say these kind of things about you? So, from what they say, you will learn about what I've been doing that make them say what they said about me. So, I prepare, from this book, I've prepared 17 citations which have abridged to cite. One or two of them I will read it. The other, I just pick out certain quotations that will show you that how to live your life from what they say. One of my friends that we taught together in Nigeria at the university, we lived together in the US. He was Nigerian minister, was Nigerian ambassador to other countries of the world. And when I was leaving America, he wanted to come to America. I helped him, I discussed with him. He was able to come. And I left him here, I went back. And now he too is back in Nigeria, but he's visiting, like me, he's visiting US. And I'm planning to visit him in Washington, in Ohio, before the end of this month. He wrote something about me in this book. I want children. I want you to listen carefully. Introduction of author. Emmanuel Funsho Oluitan is an extraordinary man, a blessed individual, highly principled, incorrigible, solution-focused, servant leader. He is a cultural icon, broadcaster, musician, actor, journalist, and professor of communication. Meaning that you must be a person of many talents. Because there are many talents that God has given you. You must be the one that will show that talent. Maybe it was Daniel that brought this drum here this morning, I don't know. Maybe if it's around, he will be playing it. I bought this drum to be used to praise God. And since I came, almost a month now, I didn't play it. I didn't play it because I am disappointed in Daniel. It's a pity he's not here. I'm disappointed in Daniel because I coached him to be playing that drum. I came back, I found that the drum is part of decoration. It should not be. This drum is for decoration. So I just left it there, I didn't touch it. Because I said, why is it not being played? I play it throughout when last I was here. But I haven't touched it this time. But at the end of service this morning, if we sing, I will play it. Being Father's Day. Okay, that's a brief. I mean, he wrote a lot about me, but let's just stop on that. Now, the first thing in my life, the first job that actually honored me in life, is a job I did in Nigeria. It's a job in Nigeria as a broadcaster. You know, the person that wrote about me at the beginning mentioned that I was a broadcaster. In 1968, I received a letter from my employer, and he said, "Dear sir, I believe it is time for me to place on record the corporation's appreciation of your very valuable contributions to programs as well as I had an opportunity to be with him at a conference at Naval Academy in the United States of America in Maryland when I was an undergraduate student. I had my camera with me and I took his picture. Years after I've taken the picture, after he had stopped being the president of the US, at the time I met him, he was US ambassador to the United Nations. He was not even a president then. After his tenure as president of the United States of America, I sent him a copy of the picture through the White House. I don't know anybody there. I just mailed it to the White House. Eventually, the letter got to him. In September 2004, he wrote me. He said, "Dear Dr. Oluitan, thanks so very much for sending me that wonderful photo taken at the Naval Academy." That was a former president of America writing for me. Can you imagine? Simply because I took his picture. It is of special interest and significance to me that you associate the picture with your becoming a U.S. citizen 31 years later. I sent him the picture after I became a U.S. citizen, which was 31 years after I saw the picture. And he said, "On a personal note, I attended several ceremonies when I had brand new citizens singing the national anthem for the first time. I couldn't help but shed a tear or two. My sincere thanks and best wishes." He signed it, his phone number, and his address. So I wiped the phone number and address out so that people will not copy it and call him up. Now, I'm giving you these examples to set the ground for you that your life should be going up as you grow. Be thinking of several talents, that God has given you. I was a student at Bowie State College, and sooner or later, you'll be going to college. One of you has finished. Tony has finished, and we are all very proud about his accomplishment. I mean, those of you who were there, you saw what Tony did on the stage. Everybody were all proud of him. And same thing, we are expecting the younger ones to follow that kind of step, where you will be well honored by your school. When I was an undergraduate in Maryland, the president of my university wrote me a letter. He said, "Dear Mr. Oluitan, I understand that you have been selected as an outstanding student in American universities and colleges. I, personally, and on behalf of the entire college community, congratulate you on this outstanding achievement. It is my hope that this will be the first in a series of achievements that you will ultimately attain. To this end, I send best wishes for your continuing success. Samuel Myers, President. of my university. Now, be thinking of this kind of honor. This is what the pastor referred to. If you honor your parents, you will be honored severally. If you don't honor your parents, you will not receive this kind of honor. Because by obeying your parents, you are honoring them. Some of the things they may ask you to do, at times it might be difficult, you might not want to do it, you might not want to do it other way, but follow them. Because you are blessed to have been raised. All of you are being raised by good parents. That much I know very well. I also work in several places. And in one of the places I worked, when I was in graduate school, was called the Aerospace Research Center. When I was leaving that center, I was a graduate student, I was working for the center. And when I was leaving, the director of that center wrote about me. I didn't, you see, some of these letters I don't ask for it. So they just write, you know. He said, "Dear Emmanuel Leighton." Okay, Emmanuel, I'm just going to abbreviate it. Emmanuel is resourceful and thorough in his work. Resourceful and thorough in his work. He takes initiative, grabs what is needed, and carries it out aggressively. He is highly effective at dealing with people at all levels. He has sound judgment and is able to foresee problems before they became critical. That is somebody talking about me. Okay? So there will be things they see that make them say all this. This is what I'm bringing to your knowledge as children. Even fellow students that we study together notice certain things about me that makes them write to me without even asking them, "Why are you writing me?" I was in a class and the student wrote me in 1974, "I want to simply say thank you for your patience and cooperation in the GRIMEX project in which we participated for Mr. McGregor V595 Planning and Implementation Seminar." That was the title of the course in graduate school. The decision-making methods employed by Team 5 did not have my support because of the autocratic, arbitrary means by which decisions were made. I do not believe in editing and reports of others, especially when I am in no position to judge competence or place values on the inputs and expectations of individuals. Clearly, this experience demonstrates the lack of decision-making ability and confidence of some who are more concerned with arbitrary letter grades. In contrast to taking advantage of a real learning opportunity. Up to that point, I wasn't sure what he was writing about. Was he criticizing me? Was he condemning me or what? At the end, he said, "Your input into this exercise has been recognized and appreciated. Thank you for demonstrating responsibility, judgment, and patience." Then he signed it, Thomas Branson. I don't know where he is today, but was a schoolmate that wrote that letter about me. we do that. If you grow up in this country, you do so many, many jobs. Many of these jobs you are doing when you are in college, you are doing it to help your parents also. Because as you are growing up, you see how they are working hard to make sure that they satisfy you. It's not easy. Where you can work to help them financially or help yourself financially, help them. Because these are what you will grow up with. In another job that I did after graduate school was to work as a police officer for the Indianapolis Police Department. And in November 1976, I was voted as the officer of the month. For you to be, look at this little place, Minneapolis. I mean, is that where we are now? This small city, Minneapolis, they have a police department. For an officer to be chosen as officer of the month, he must have done so many wonderful things. So, as an officer in that department in 1976, I was Indianapolis Officer of the Month, and they gave me a certificate of appreciation. I will not bother to read it, it's long, in which they talk about several achievements or what I've done. After that, they even sent me a photograph. Okay, they sent me a picture and a letter to follow up. I can read the letter. Dear Mr. Oluito, congratulations on your recent recognition by the Indianapolis Police Department. We are proud of you and thought that you might like to have the enclosed photograph as an additional souvenir. This brings you our thanks and warmest personal regards. That's from the mayor and the chief of police. Now, in some of the universities where I taught also, can we stop? Oh, okay. You know, I understand it's almost 12. You see, to me, this is a special day. You know, when we leave here, do we have an appointment we want to meet at 12:30, 12:15? I know. Me, I have no objection. You know, if you have another commitment, then I can cut it off here. No problem. But if we don't have a commitment per se that we must all be, why not continue? But if you want me to stop, I stop. But for me, it's a joy that on Father's Day, I'm able to relate my achievements to the children. You see, Father's Day should not be a day when we send gifts to fathers. Father's Day should be a day when father will sit down with the children and tell them about achievement in his life that they can take and use as an example. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I can do this for 10 hours in a day continuously. But I said at the beginning, I have many. But if time is a factor, I can stop. Yeah. No, normally people walk out of church. It's not something strange. I see it happen everywhere. People come late to church. People walk late to church. People leave church earlier if they have commitment. And people come late because there are some other commitment that make them come late. But church goes on. You know? Look at how many children are here today? 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are the others? They have other commitments. Why is Daniel not here? I cannot fault him for not being here. He has another commitment. You see? So that's the way life is. Let us take what we can take. What we can't take, if we have to go, let's go. If we have to stop, I'll stop. But I enjoy sharing this with the children. As I've said, it's not for the adults. It's unfortunate that if I were to be in Nigeria, as I've said, I will have 200 children sitting in front of me that I will talk to like this. But the few that are here today, if they understand now, good. If they don't, they will remember that some years ago, Baba said something about something. Then they begin to relate to what I'm saying now. You know, it may not mean much to them today, but it will mean a lot in future. Okay? I thank you for giving me the opportunity, but there are certain things that when it happens, you just have to say it. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I still have 8 other testimonies in letters. Not things that I say. I'm not the one saying it. People wrote it about me, and I publish it. And the reason why I publish it is that I can remain forever, and people will read it. People are reading it now. It's available online. I just published second edition for America, and which is the one I'm reading from now. So, let's continue. Well, I taught at Wilberforce University, and third year when I got to Wilberforce, after 2 years, I was honored by the university. And the university honor goes like this. Wilberforce University hereby designate Funsho Oluitan Associate Professor Communications as recipient of the 1999 Faculty Merit Bonus Award, given on the President's Honor Convocation, April 13, 1999. This honor came as a result of election by faculty and staff to choose whom they think are the best teachers or the best students in President's Honor Convocation. And I was one of them. And that honor came, and I received the award, promotion, and money at that time. One of the ceremonies that took place when I was working at Lincoln University was to invite the former president of Nigeria, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, to visit. And I was the chief host of the program. And one of the women leaders that came with Azikiwe, when they returned to Nigeria, she wrote me a letter on 22nd May 1994. Her name is Dr. Mrs. Ejumade Alaki. And she wrote, she said, "My dear Funsho, how are you? Iyabo and the children." She happened to know all the family. "We return home safely. We return home safely on Monday. Funsho, I want to thank you most sincerely for making our stay at Lincoln University most comfortable and memorable. The manner in which you gave detailed attention to the various items of the 10-day program is most commendable. Thank you and well done. You may well believe this. I feel particularly encouraged that a Nigerian should be taught so well off in his workplace. And in a country like America, where good personnel seems to abandon, you are doing all of us good. You and the other Nigerians on the staff of Lincoln University are being good ambassadors for our great country, Nigeria. She also honored my wife. Please thank Iyabo for me. She too was great, and I am enjoying a number of the items which I bought on the shopping spree which she took us. That's Iyabo. So, I will. It's so difficult to jump some of these letters. There is a store called Target today. It used to be called Airway when I was in the 70s. It used to be called Airway. I think they sold it onto Target. I used to work for Airway as a security person. One day in 1979, my supervisor wrote me this memorandum. Manny, congratulations. We are so proud of you and thank you so much for the excellent job on apprehensions this month. It amazes me how you just catch them left and right. Thanks for the good job and for keeping our security department on top. Excellent, superb, fantastic, exceptional, wonderful, all-round super job. That was my supervisor writing about me, writing to me. I didn't ask for it. Now, these are the results of the kind of honor you can get from your place of work. I'm going to encourage your parents to order for this book. It's online. And once they order for it, you should have a copy of this book in your house. As you grow up, you have the opportunity to look into it, to read it, and to see what you can learn from it. So because of time, I will forgo the rest, and if you have an opportunity in future to read, you will read more about it. Thank you for listening. God bless you all.